Welcome back. Now in this video, what we'll be talking about now is like more of the third part of the bottommost icon, menu icon, sorry. So now this is the bottommost part. As the canvas is blank now, so there's nothing on the canvas. So we have different things: sticker, import, draw, shape, pixel to arrow. But now I think we've talked about shape. We've talked more about shape, we talk about more draw. Now I think we've talked about sticker as well. When we've not talked about pixel and arrow, we'll talk about that later. So now let's try and import text now. Import something. Yeah, I think I've talked about these imports using additional stuff at the topmost part. So maybe I'm trying to import let me assume we're trying this background, yeah, the same background. But now we're dealing with one by one, our canvas is in square format. So now the way it is now, you can increase it to fill the space, and there's a way you can go about it. Just scroll to relative size. We're going to come to that later. 100. Anyway, let's come back to this later. Let's be like this. Now you can place it at the center, you can delete it, you can undo it. So now we're trying to bring in another thing to replace it. So that sorry, I don't explain it very well. So now assume this is the shape now. We can bring in something, another text to fit into this space outside, like from instead of we try to import it, so we can import something. The major aim is not going to be for the stuff to remain, for them to happen simultaneously, or for them to occur on the canvas simultaneously, or for one of them to replace the other. So this one we can replace this using reselect. Reselect what we chose the other time. So we have this. Just replace it. Wow. Now we can crop, we can delete, we can crop. The other time I changed it to 1:1. If I want to change it back to the former one, this is how it's going to look like. And copy it. This is what we're going to have. So duplicate it. And just highlight it again. Take it to the front, assuming you're working. That's what I explained while we were talking about text. So take it to the front, take it to the back, assuming we have about 3 or 4 of them. So okay, you can still try and import another. Okay. Now you can take this one to the bottom, to the back, this one to the back, this one to the back. So to bring this one back to the front. So just play around it. The position too, I think I've explained it before. Just to move it. So the same thing goes for relative position. The relative size, now I want this thing to cover the entire canvas. Increase the width. Assuming this is not really 1:1, you can try and crop it to ensure it's 1:1. This is now crop to 1:1. I think this is okay. So now my relative size 100. So now I'm coming. Yeah. It's covered the canvas. So like take it to the back. Discover that everything covers the whole canvas. So that's how relative size works. You can try we can try and increase it gradually anyhow. So the height, the width, they increase simultaneously because we enabled maintain ratio. We don't maintain the ratio, look at what we're having. So just like the maintain ratio just locked it, so that's all. Regarding that, the color, once you change the color to make it blank, the color is just going to overlap it. So the same thing with the gradient, the way I explained it the other time. Now the texture. I think I'm going to talk about more of this texture. Okay, we want to add an image. The texture now for a shape now might be in form of image. We want to bring in an image to cover the text. So this is let me bring in this man. So now we have it here. Yeah. So now the enablement I mean enable there is to maintain the ratio, like for it to cover the whole space. So that's what I did here. So now the scale 100% to increase the size, to reduce the size, maintain the ratio. Maybe the ratio, like the ratio of the text, the shape I use for the texture is different from the original one for the the one I just imported. The size are not equal, so that's why when the enable ratio is going to be very much important. The other one is I think 1 by 1. So that's how it works. So that's how texture works. Let's undo it. Opacity, I've explained it before. Increasing and making it transparent and making it less transparent. So now we move on to color filter. Oh, okay. Color filter. You're trying to adjust the color. Hue it. Make it okay. Look at what we have now. From that blue part, look at now turn to the green to the background. So just like you play around it, make it more saturated. Increase the brightness, reduce the brightness, increase the contrast, reduce the contrast. So that's how it works. Sometimes you may have an image which is blue and you want to work on maybe a black background or a green background. There's a way you can change the color around it. Maybe you want to that exact same, that exact image. So you can hue it, you can make it saturated to adjust the color to your best choice. That's how it works. So you can undo. Now the stroke, I've explained before, adding stroke to it, stroke width. That's how stroke work. So eraser, I think I said I'm going to talk about this masking tool as time goes on because we're using it when you're trying to mark something into image or shape or object. Now eraser tool, you're trying to erase, as we want to erase it, you can erase manually, you can erase using masking tool as well. So now there are two things at the topmost part now. The first one here, the one I'm increasing now, is for you to be able to increase the size, and the other one is for you to increase the hardness. The softness to the hardness. Look at what I'm going to do now. When it's very, very hard, come in. Discover the changes. Sorry, the first one is okay. This one is now very, very soft. Very, very hard. This one is very hard. Very hard. You discover like the edges are very smooth. Now this one, they are not smooth. So there's a way they work. Whenever you're trying to maybe manipulate background, you can make use of it. And the other one, this masking tool, I think I've explained the other time. Yeah, delete. So you can delete it for you. No, this one I want to delete. This one I want to delete. This is how it works. This is how masking to work. Outermost part, innermost part. Undo it. Now, this color, erase color. Maybe I want to erase the blue part. So we have maybe the black, the darker part showing. You can erase color. Just use your pick tool. Go and highlight the color you want to erase. Discover that it's erased the color. Tolerance. You can increase the tolerance. The edge smooth, make it smooth. So that's how it works. Just play around it. Just play around this. Familiarize yourself with the layout before you start making flyers. I think that will be better. Undo it. The next one is just to rotate. I think I've talked about it. You can make use of it. Do it manually. So undo. 3D rotate as well. I think I've explained it the other time using test. It's something when you can't use test for image. So when you're dealing with objects, you make use of the third menu icon underneath. The perspective also works for shape. Enable it. So it works for shape as well. So let's undo. The shadow, the same thing. The shadow at the back, the inner shadow as well. You may not be able to see this in obvious. Let's change it to white. Increase the radius because there's something white inside. So That's how it works. You can move it offset x, like x-axis on x-axis on the y-axis. So that's how it works. Now, okay, that's all about inner shadow. Emboss as well. Emboss can also work here. Just emboss it. It's good that there is a breaking. It's broke. There's actually a trick. I don't think I've not done any trick. Yeah. But now, what I did there, if you are trying to export it, you may not be able to export it. But let me try whether. Okay, in another tutorial, we are going to see a video on the tricks. But let me try one. I hope it works here. You are trying to add, a test. Let's try and add test. Using poppins. The font is poppins. Then you will work on popping. Okay. Popping. Let's increase the size, the text, the color to white. So there are about 3 tricks. Sometimes those 3 do not work. So let's try and emboss it. Emboss. Discover that this is not showing. There's something you can do here. You can place it at the center, duplicate it, place it at the center again. So you just merge the 2 together. There will be a normal video on how to go about this. Merge it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for this. So we discovered the second one. Oh, the second and third ones are even okay already. So assuming maybe the first one is not working and the second one is fully embossed, so there's a way you go about it. I think that's all about that one. Now that's all about the embossment stuff for the test format. For the next one, this maybe you are trying to change the color of the background. Let's delete everything. No. We don't need to delete it. Let's just make it invisible. Now, this icon of layer, for every text you can lock, you can edit it, you can delete it, and you can make it invisible. So you can make it invisible. We have 3-4 icons with it, and you can move it up and down manually without using your move to the top, move to the back. So this is how you work around this. Now, for the last part, maybe you want to change the color of the background to blue. Change the color of the background to black. I didn't like black background. But that doesn't mean you can't work on black background. It depends on the work what you are dealing with. You can make the background transparent, assuming you are trying to export. Let me log this. You're trying to export this image as a PNG file. Make the background transparent. So that's how it works. Image size, adjust the size again. So bring in image from gallery. So from camera, that is how it works. So now this one you can try and vignette. I think I'm going to explain this later. Okay, you can play around this, but when we are trying to edit text, we can talk more about contrast, hue. I think I've talked about contrast, hue, brightness, vibe, stripes, noise. Yeah, you can add noise to your design as well. Or assuming you have a bag. Let me try and I'm coming. Okay. Look at the background. The background is not noised, so it's not smooth. So that's how noise works. So you can just play around this. I'm sorry for mentioning play. That's how. Ensure you practice. The more you practice, the more you do things, the better. The more familiar you become with the interface. I think with this, we've come to the end of the tutorial regarding the basics of Pixellab. So you can watch the first video, the second video, and this is the third video. Ensure you watch it. Thank you so much.
Kindly subscribe, like, and share.